Hello and welcome to this new game of StarCraft 2. New Direct Strike game. We got Boules Club versus, last but not least, this is part of the GDSL tournaments. There's a big prize pool going on. And we will see how these guys can stack up with each other. This is the second match in the series, by the way. Chronologically, I should say. So let's see what we have here. Got Han and Horner versus Phoenix. Oh, this is Han Horner, and this is Phoenix. Got Tychus versus Abathur, and we got Nova versus Raynor. Alright, so top team banned what looks like Dahaka. So they banned Dahaka. Pretty straightforward. They were playing Phoenix and Tychus. Maybe they think that Dahaka would counter both of them. Right. Well, I guess and Nova too. All three of them really. So maybe they just banned him because they were picking a risky comp, being countered by all three of them, or being countered by Dahaka with all three of them. Although this is more of a 50-50 matchup. This is good for Dahaka early game. Mid game is a toss up, and late game it's usually Tychus wins. But I mean, it could also be a toss up. Really just depends on whose side is winning. So I'll just say it's a 50-50 mid game and late game, and then we'll say it's a advantage early game. So we'll put it slightly on Dahaka's favor because early game can spiral out of control and Tychus might never recover. He has no globals, and his defensive structures are just kind of ass. Like, he only has one, and it's, I mean, it has good stats, but it's like still just one. And then we got Nova. Nova versus Dahaka. Usually Dahaka is favored here, but I wouldn't say it's like a complete total domination. Definitely would be like 55, maybe 60% win against Nova. That's good. So yeah, maybe they were just targeting Dahaka because of that. Maybe someone else on the other team plays Dahaka a lot. That could also be a thing. I don't really see it. I guess Drunk played a little bit Dahaka, and Esquin Joe too. Anyways, let's talk about the comps. So this comp is very straightforward. I want to win wave 2. Basically, they have 3 hero units, three of the most powerful hero units for the early game that are just like, you know, coming out and just ruining everyone's day. The only one they're missing is maybe Kerrigan. So they're just like, I want to win wave 2, and once we win wave 2, we don't have to deal with our own matchups. We're fighting our allies' matchups for them, so like it doesn't matter. And if anything goes wrong, we always have tier 3 Nova with drone into this Tychus wave to amp up this Tychus to make him not die at all. So that's always a fallback strategy, or a kill them strategy even. But yeah, they're going for very much early game aggression. Got Han and Horner, Abathur, Rainer. So, like I casted the other game recently, the Frog Lords versus Anbu Titans. Anbu Titans had a very similar team comp. They had the Han Horner Abathur core, and then they just added in one more stacky commander. Anything with like Han Horner Abathur usually just means it's going to be a stacky team comp. Like you want to get that stack, and then you're gonna win the game off of a Doom push. Rainer can play into that with battle cruisers, but if he's forced into like Bio or Banshees or something like that, he becomes more of a catcher than a stacker, which is fine. Like a catcher is fine in a stacking comp. You want to save the stacking unit so that your next ally could actually, utilize them more than you can. It's nebulous to say. You can also make tanks, but tanks, in my opinion, are very bad on Rainer. So, um, they're usually not worth it. Maybe they do become worth it when you have Swarm Hosts, but they just don't provide enough damage that they're supposed to. The Vikings are good too. You can like stance dance with them, and just provide the air support for your Hun Horner ally, which already has air support. But you can also provide it for the Abathur even, which loves air support, because you want to keep your Vipers alive. And air support is really good at keeping your Vipers alive. So yeah. That being said, let's get this game going. Let's see what the openers are. Adept. He's gonna sell this so he can get Phoenix Hero out. I've seen a lot of Phoenix players doing this recently. They just get one Adept to get mid, and then they'll just sell it and then get the Phoenix Hero on wave 1, on wave 2. We'll see, maybe he'll make a mistake. Han Horner player abusing the fact that we already know the matchups, so he's just gonna go Hellbats. He's like, he already knows I'm Han Horner. Why wouldn't I just make Hellbats in the very beginning? And in that case, maybe if Phoenix shouldn't have built this Adept in that case, or they could have moved it to a side where Han Horner wouldn't be, I guess. Couture, standard Tychus opener. There's nothing really to say about that. Nova, standard Nova opener, nothing really to say about that. Just a Nova hero. Got to be careful with these towers because you can stack this Nova hero and he'll snipe the next wave. Like sniping this Strike Fighter might be a pinnacle for a loss. He went Mojo, no Phoenix hero. So he didn't sell his Adapt at all and just... Oh, it's not even Mojo, it's just a Scout. I guess he'll win this wave. So there's that, but this was an obvious misplay. Or it could have been like a intentional, unintended thing. But with this comp, again, the game plan and the game early, we're gonna go full aggression mode, and our backup plan is Tychus just outscaling everyone with Nova Drone to support. So realistically, you want to keep that early game aggression. So obviously it was a misplay, but we'll just call it a wink wink, nudge nudge, unintended intentional thing. Guys, come on now. You could at least contest the early game. Like, these are both light units. You could have just made a bunch of roaches and killed them both. Like, There's no need to lose this early game. Just throw it away. But I mean, whatever floats your boat. I mean, even the roaches would even help with like killing the Tychus units when you have Vipers out. So like, I don't get it. I don't get this approach. You're going too deep into the stack build at this point. You didn't. You're supposed to execute it in the mid game. You're not supposed to execute it in the early game. Early game, you have to fight for early game. You're just trying to give up bunker at this point. But we'll see. He used grenade on buildings. That's whatever. He thought that Tychus hero would die before these units came in. This Nova's gonna, yeah. That's rough for the Dusk Wings. Yeah, I mean, like, he should have predicted this. Never build so many close together versus a Nova. Like, you only do that versus Goliath. So this matchup basically is Raynor loses until Hyperion gets out. And so basically it's just damage control till then. And the reason why he loses until Hyperion comes out is because these motherfucking ravens love to just kill all these banshees. But the thing is that those missiles are projectiles. So Hyperion will just throw out like one of the drones and then kill off all the missiles that are coming at the banshees, and the banshees can outscale the Goliaths. The banshees outscale the Goliaths because you just add in like a few medics, just like one or two. You don't even need that many, and then you build the banshees in lines. So all the Goliaths will just shoot at one banshee, and then all the four banshees behind it will just like shoot the Goliaths. Or not really behind it, but it'll be inside the banshee, the first banshee. Not to mention the range from the normal banshees. The Duskwings have one less range than the normal banshees, but they have more like health and armor and stuff. Yeah, this is just. I mean, I guess roaches wouldn't do much here, but still. The hook into the photon cannon is just brutal. Realistically, this Han Horner player should not be losing as hard as he is. Utilize your cell mechanic. Like, that's all I'm gonna say. Once you have these amount of scouts, any amount of scouts, you can just go mass Vikings into them. And Vikings don't do necessarily bad versus Adepts, and they eventually kill the Phoenix hero. But you can take advantage of this comp because a lot of the Adepts will start attacking the towers, and then your Vikings will just stack like this, and then you have enough Vikings to kill these scouts. But now he's gonna have the bunker busted, which is just super bad for him. I mean, eventually you'll get like just galleons and stuff like that. But you gotta utilize your cell mechanic. Why are you playing Han Horner if you're not gonna utilize it? Like, these Hellbats are doing nothing for you. The Strike Fighters can do something, but like he only had two Adepts, and he had 2 Strike Fighters for 2 Adepts. Like, you don't need that. Like 1 Strike Fighter for this clump of Adepts, and that's all you really need. Hold on. I think I missed something important. Let's go back. Yeah, Nova Hero shotgunning the Locust, standard. Not really much to say here. Yeah, this is rough. And he's going to be leaking Goliath into this Han Horner wave now. Yeah, this is not recoverable anymore. Like, they needed to keep that bunker alive and they failed to do so. Now they're executing their game plan. They're like, hey, we bunker busted and now we don't have to fight our own enemy. We can fight the next enemy, which he's only making swarm hosts. They died to Shotgun Nova's Shotgun Blast. They died to the Phoenix anti-light damage and the Adept's anti-light damage. They died to this AoE. Are we sure this is the best build versus Tychus? I don't think so, guys. You like contest the early game more, don't just like flop over dead. Okay. And they're now trying to execute their stacking game plan. I'd say might. But yeah, he's just gonna shut this down. He has 2 tanks. The Hellbats are doing something finally, but they just got shredded by these Adepts, and the Shotgun Nova just killed all the Locusts. And yeah, the unprotected Stormhost died. And again, the Locusts are just getting shredded. Like even like Hellions would have been better than these Hellbats here. Because you would have been able to tar the Adepts, you would have been able to tar the Goliath and Nova Hero, so that they'll go like closer and they'll waste a lot of damage, and it'll get into further range of the Viking AoE. That's a classic comp that I like with Han and Horners. You get like Hellions behind the Vikings, and they'll just tar the enemies, and the enemies will go closer and it'll get in range of this like Viking cone AoE. So the grounded Vikings are ending up hitting a lot more. Like you could even just not you could even just like disable the fly, so that you can kill these ground and save this swarm host, so that maybe this Rainer will win his wave. He built 2 tanks saying like, oh hey, this game is doomed, so let's make it more doomed. No, I'm kidding. He built 2 tanks because he saw swarm hosts were going decently well. They were leaking a little bit, so he was just like, I'm gonna stack more. Is that the correct decision here? Probably not. I think Rainer has to play the stack catcher instead of the stack breaker here. You'd rather the Abathur stack with this Han Horner wave than your own wave and get like fire bats. That's a lot of Marauders. Marauders are kind of hard to justify versus Nova because the AoE options are kind of big. But he has no Banshees, so I guess Marauders are better in this case because he has no Banshees. Yeah, this is just brutal. I just want to like pause and take a moment. Look at this wave. Look at it. It's weak. It's just weak. This is a weak collection of units. They really needed to stall for that late game. And they blew the early game. That's a weak wave. This is sort of weak. Like, if he didn't build these tanks, it would have been okay. Like, maybe fire bats would have been better here. But yeah. This team pretty much executed their game plan very well. I mean, I have no qualms here. You can maybe argue that the Han Horner outscaling Phoenix is so scary that you can't even afford adepts, and you wanted to go straight up scouts. But the adepts ended up working out well because they're good against the Swarmhost Locust. So they clear them really fast. They clear them faster than the scouts do. Because the scouts like they cost more, so there's less hits overall, and also the adepts have shade. But yeah, you can make a case that the Han Horner stack is so scary that you don't want this. Especially again if they didn't lose bunker, and these adepts were just shooting at the towers, and Han Horner stacks a bunch of Vikings. I mean, it wouldn't do anything into the Tychus wave, but surely it would still be a front line for Abathur Swarmhost. But we saw other games how like that doesn't even matter, because if you're not gonna build any damage as Abathur, then what's the point? Shashka's wave is fine. The only thing that's scary about this is like, the siege tanks are delayed AoE. So if he built like a firebat comp. Well, okay, so first off, he has nothing against Marauders, which is the red flag. Because you want Banshees against Marauders. Marauders only have, what, 125 health? So you can just use a Banshee rocket and then like shotgun them, for example. But you usually want the Banshees versus Marauders because they're more instant AoE, and they'll just delete them out of existence. They'll deny them. Like Rainer's one of Rainer's most good, like best units, to be honest. So Rainer's forced into building fire bats, and the reason why I think that instant AoE is good for Nova is that because these tanks don't really protect your Goliath at all. These tanks don't protect your Goliath whatsoever. What these tanks do, they just sit behind the Goliath and AoE down the enemies. But it's a very delayed AoE. So it takes time to ramp up. Meanwhile, the fire bats and Marauders are going ham on your Goliath. Then I guess Shashka will build like 1 or 2 Hellbats or something, but he would just build more fire bats to try to break through this line. So this is why I think that like this comp is kind of iffy versus a good Rainer. If you go like a fire bat majority comp, you can start like killing off these Goliaths, and then if you kill off these Goliaths, then your Banshees will kill the tanks. Because your Raven's not gonna be able to basically kill all these Banshees. There are gonna be some that survives. Anyways, It was a good game altogether, somewhat. I just wish these guys would execute their comp better. It's supposed to be a delay towards late game, and you're losing to this early game comp. GG's.